Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And I would just like to say today, anybody caught up in Hurricane Ian who's suffered, any considerable damage, I'm really, really sorry for anything that you're going through. And it's especially with the way the economy is and everything now. I just think it's absolutely dreadful. I mean, we were very, very lucky here. It was just heavy rain and some wind, but for anyone who has suffered, I'm just truly, truly sorry. I really am. For anyone else who wasn't, I hope you had a very enjoyable weekend. And I am up this morning with Eiffel store. Now, I've had a couple of days break, but it kind of knocked me off kilter a bit. When you've got to clear your garden and then you've got to put everything back, it's a little bit exhausting. But we're doing the angel. I've already cut it up. I've chosen the one with ponytails. If you looked at the design team haul, you will see he sent me several angels, and they're a gorgeous size and they're really pretty. But I decided to do this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run off. I'm going to cut some colour cardstock, grab a few more things, do a card base, and I will be right back. Right, so I've done that, and my card base, as you can see, is a blue and white snowflake, and that is Carter Bella, A Very Merry Christmas. I'm pretty sure it is. So that is 4¼ by 5¼ that card base, just to give you an overall estimate of the size of things. Now, I've used a piece of kind of flesh coloured cardstock to do the face and the arms, which are back to front. I've cut two little tiny hearts. I've cut an extra spare piece of brown because it matches the hair, and I'm going to piece that behind so that the eyelashes and eyebrows are the same colour. So we've got that. I've decided to go for a little pink dress for my angel, and I have cut two sets of bows. The gold bit there is the halo, so that we can fluff those up a bit, because this is the hair and I've actually cut that twice. And what I will do is, once I untangle those swirly bits, can you see the details in that? Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to put one at the front of the head and one at the back of the head, so that I don't know how that's going to look. I think it's going to be nice, but you never know. I've done the wings in gold, so the halo and the wings are in gold glitter cardstock, and I've cut my fingernails again, so I'm just sliding off that other little bow that will glue on top of that one. Right, other things that I've got, if I just move that little head out of the way for a second, I'm going to move that too. Slide all that over, put my scruffy mat down, and hopefully you can see that. Just slide the paper around underneath. I've got my bottle of glue, which is my Dollar Tree Jot glue, and I'm using this again. People keep asking about this. Now, if you find it on eBay, well done, but you just can't buy it from Spellbinders anymore. They just don't do it. They discontinued it. If you get one, it's going to last you for life, and I hope that you can get one. I'm pretty sure you can get the other palettes on eBay, which is the bright colours, the greens and what have you, which is great for doing backgrounds and quick flowers and stuff like that. And even Halloween characters, because I think there's a green and an orange in it. But the flesh tone palette called Birthday Suit, if you find it on eBay, I would get it because it really is great. Right, so what I'm going to do with that palette is I'm going to get my little character's head first of all. You can see it's got two little embossed heart pieces here. If I pick that up, hopefully you can see. And even though those are supposed to be the cheeks, I still want to add some colour. So that's why I got my birthday suit kit out. And I'm going to add a little bit of blush. And I'm going to go in with this one. I really do like this. I don't mind if it's a little bit darker than it should be, because you can blend it in with your finger. And it can also, really accentuate your characters by going just a little bit darker. So you can squish it in with your finger And then I'm going to go into that little freckle area above the nose as well. Just a little bit. So having your chalks and stuff like that. And I know that Pan Pastel does a flesh colour. But of course, pan pastels are expensive. But once again, once you've got the colours that you like, they are going to last you for life. That's the only good thing about them, is that, you know, they're expensive, but they're great value for money. Right, now somewhere around here, I do have my pickup tool. And if I haven't, I've put it on the shelf. Hang on, I'm just going to pause while I go and get my pickup tool. Right, so I've got that, and here it is, and it's a lot of years old. Another thing that's great value for money from AliExpress. I'm just going to test that my glue is running. Now, I haven't actually paid close attention to what this looks like on the website, so I'm doing my own thing here and just basically assuming on everything. So I've got two little hearts. I'll try and get into those embossed areas, and I will pick it up in a minute just to have a look and make sure, because if I'm way off the mark, which I'm pretty sure that I am, I'm just going to have to slide them over. Yeah, you can have fun sliding things around sometimes. And I'll tell you what, my camera is great for picking up whether I've got details in the right place or not. I'm going to go in close and then come out. There we go. See, that one's over to the right a little bit too much. So just take your fingernail and push it in, and then you can just let your glue dry. Now, the other thing that I said I was going to do, I've got two little arms on my piece of paper here, is I'm going to put this behind there. So what I want to do there is pick this up without knocking my little cheeks around and kind of get a rough estimate of what's what. If you can see, what you basically need is a rectangle. So I am going to grab my scissors, and while those little cheeks are drying, I'm actually going to press down on them, because that will speed things up. And I'm going to cut myself a rectangle of the brown. I can see the size of the face there. I'm going to go back there and see if that's okay. Pick that up, pop it over, and you can see you've got your little bits hanging out, so we can just take a little bit off the edge. So if I move that over, I can basically see how much I need to do. Always better to not cut enough than cut too much, because you can always cut a little bit more. Right, I think that's it. Just push that down, wiggle that up there. Yeah. So now I can turn this over. I can pop my glue around the edge. Now I'm going to be not too heavy-handed with the glue. I'm actually going to rub it in, because I don't want to get any harsh line behind the face. So I'm going to blend it in a bit. I've got that the wrong way around, probably. Oh, isn't that weird when you cut it straight, or at least you thought you did, but it's not covering all the bits? Now I've got to do that again. Let's have a look. Let's go off down there. See what that gives us. That's better. And then I'm going to take that bit off there. Right, and there's going to be a couple of little bits that I'm going to need to trim off. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again, and then blend it in with my finger. Pop that down. And then just get those little corner pieces off. That one's okay, that one's okay. It's just this piece here. Just take that out. And then you've got your little cheeks. You've got matching eyelashes and eyebrows that will match into your hair. Now, I've got 2 pieces of hair. And I'm pretty sure it goes behind the ears. I'm just grabbing that one. So, well, maybe it goes in front of the ears, actually. Let's have a look. Or you could have it behind or in front. I'm going to go in front of. And I'm just going to just glue the fringe area. So I've got a couple of little dots there. Now I'm having to look over at my camera and move that around. I think that looks pretty. I'm just going to let that dry a second and I'll be back. Right now I'm going to flip her over, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So I think I can get away with popping my glue around on that edge and then matching it up. And popping that down. So it's kind of like a double layered ponytail that we've got going on here, which I think is going to look quite nice. See, you've got a couple of like extra little curls and things going on. I quite like that. I think she's pretty. Right, now my bows I'm going to double up. I'm going to use my pickup tool just to grab those. And I'm going to do a squeeze of glue into the centres. And then pick those up. You only want to glue the centerpiece so that you can fluff them up when they're dry. Right. I think I might have that one upside down. Yeah, I have. There we go. So I've got 2 little bows here. Just need to let those dry. And the next thing is the little dress. Now, her head goes on top of the little dress, but you've got to kind of position it so, you know, she's still got a neck, bless her. Now, her halo is probably hovering up here on the website. I'm actually going to put it so that it's just on top of the head. So a little bit of glue just along that edge. And I'm going to sort of like have it half on and half off kind of thing. So there's her little halo. And that little bit of glue needs to dry. And then, as I said, we need to position her head. So I've got just a little bit of glue there. And I think I'm going to go there. I think she's so sweet. And of course we've got little arms. Now, once again, I don't know how these look on the website. I'm assuming that one goes there because it is the widest sleeve, and that this one will go there because it's the shortest sleeve. Now, whenever I do paper piecing, I have to wait for the head to dry. I always pick up the big piece and carry it to the smallest. So I know that I can actually put a little dot of glue here. It's not going to be completely dry while the head is drying, if you know what I mean. And then I'm going to pick up her hair and I just go like that, position that one like that, and then squeeze it, glue on my fingers, and then I let that dry. Now the little angel wings, once again, I do not know how this looks on the website. I'm going to kind of guess that, you know, they're pretty little things, so we're going to be able to see them. I've just moved her hand in there, but I'm going to kind of like have mine like that, and I will push her arm back again in a second. Right, as you can see those wings, I'm going to glue them like that, and I'll be straight back. Right, so those little wings are still drying, but because I only put glue in the middle of the bows, you can see, if I can get it on camera there, that they're able to be fluffed up. So they need to go into the ponytail section. So I'm just going to pick those up and pop them on. And then the only thing that's going to be left to do is foam pads or foam tape onto the back of the angel, and then she can go onto her card base. Right, so those are the little bows that I've got there. They don't have to be absolutely accurate, because as you can see, the ponytail is at a different height, which I think is really sweet. Right, I'm going to let that dry and I'll be right back. Right, so there's the card base, and she's reasonably dry now. I hope that's a good close-up. And I've put some foam on the back. Well, the other day when I did some paper cuts, one of the borders was this one. And I've trimmed the snowflake away from it and popped a little bit of ink on. So I'm going to stick this onto here for a little bit of added interest. So, you know, just showing that your borders don't have to be borders. Just dotting a little bit of glue here and there. And looking over at the camera because I wasn't sure whether I was still recording or not. Oh, dearie me. There, I think that will do. A bit more there. And I'm going to stick this onto my card base. So I'm just going to flip it over without getting all my fingers into everything. And that kind of fits on there just nicely. So I've got that. And then, of course, I've also got the little gift that I did. So, you know, my little angel's going to have a little gift in front of her as well. And, of course, if you've got little bits of ephemera, stuff like that, you can just pile it on. I mean, cute characters like this, they look awesome on ATCs, memory dexes. And I'm going to be able to measure this angel in a second. But she's just really, really sweet. So I've got that, and of course I want to get her on there straight, so I think I'm going to go about there. So she's on a little bit of foam. And talking about foam, I was actually in Dollar Tree at the weekend. Have you noticed how thin the foam has got? I mean, this is an old roll, but what I saw was half the thickness of this. So I don't know what's going on there. Right, I'm just putting my foam into the centre so it doesn't, you know, bash with the dress when I put it down. But I just think it's a nice little extra detail. And then, as I said, if you've got like a little ephemera sentiment or something that you can pop up there, or even across the front of a dress, that would look really sweet too. But I haven't really pushed down hard on my foam yet, just in case I need to move it. But I'm going to have a little gift here and a little heart. I'll go just off the edge. There. So I've used one of the borders, I've used the package, I've got my little angel, but you can see, you know, you can add other little snowflakes and really start to layer it up to make a really, really pretty card. But she actually looks like she's holding that gift, and I do love the little heart on that tag. But I just think she's really sweet. Right, yes, fluff that little bow up. because that's what's cute about it. And if you look, you can see the double layer of hair. It just looks really nice. One in front and one behind the head. Cute, yes. Right, I do thank you so much for joining me today. I am up tomorrow with a DIY art bin design team haul. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, all links below. Have a wonderful day. Bye.